With 280 state parks, California renders unique natural beauty and a rich legacy of man-made structures often concealed from the majority of the Golden State's visitors. California state parks are diverse. Some are big, covering a few 100,000 acres. Some are small, like watchtowers of Simon Rodier State Historic Park, just a tiny corner in a large city. While we started our nature-infused adventures in California with national parks, slowly but surely we expanded this territory, adding more state parks and reserves to our bucket list. Here are some of our favorite California state parks, in no particular order. Bounded by high swell and rolling hills, Point Lobos State Natural Reserve depicts the true character of California. Wild, bold, slightly dangerous, never predictable, and absolutely spectacular. Several easy trails intersect the area, taking its visitors to lonely cliffs, at the bottom of which seals rest after months of foraging in the sea, or picturesque coves with the views of bird-inhabited isles. Locals call it simply Burney Falls. And while the 129-foot waterfall is not the only attraction in the park, it's certainly the main one. Fearing that the natural site could become another victim of hydroelectric development project, Scott McArthur purchased the land surrounding the waterfall in the early 20th century. In May 1920, the property was gifted to the state of California in memory of John and Catherine McArthur. Today, McArthur-Burney Falls is considered one of the most beautiful state parks in California. A waterfall that never reached the heights of famous Yosemite's waterfalls, Burney Falls surpassed them with its predictability. Throughout the year, the roaring giant diligently transfers 100 million gallons of water into Burney Creek. Red, white, and pinkish buttes rise over a California desert roughly 120 miles south of Los Angeles. Like welcoming hosts, the peculiar pillars greet every traveler driving along Highway 14. And just like skillful entertainers, the lonely group of the desert formations aroused their curiosity at once. In spring, wildflowers cover small valley pockets between the imposing cliffs.
There's no trail to walk. You basically, if you get there,
The wildflowers also pop up in Garrapata State Park, located in Big Sur along California's central coast. The blooms spread along the entire hillsides, abruptly stopping by rocks and narrow sandy stretches of land. From mid-February through mid-April, the secluded Calla Lily Valley dominates the entire flower show. A hike to the hidden gully festooned by large white plants is a short walk from a roadside parking area. The trail terminates at a shallow gorge that faces the vast ocean. Providing constant water supply to the blooms, a winding brook runs through the valley and an adjacent beach until it empties into the Pacific. Often compared with the Lake Bled in Slovenia, Emerald Bay State Park is located 12 miles north of South Lake Tahoe. As part of the California side of Lake Tahoe, the area inherits its rough beauty and boasts a number of alluring sites nearby. The signature feature of Emerald Bay State Park is Fannett Island. The dramatic isle looks like a small spot stranded in the lake. In reality, though, it's big enough to shelter a Viking's home, a 38-room mansion originally owned by Lord Josephine Knight. After living in California for more than a decade, I've heard a good deal about Point Mugu State Park. But somehow the area didn't end up on my list of local adventures until recently. A few weeks ago, we were invited for a barbecue at Sycamore Cove Beach. Needless to say, the sandy stretch of land, bounded by a rocky outcropping and a creek that runs through a tunnel under Highway 1, was all I needed to add Point Mugu State Park to the list of the best California state parks. The park also includes 2 valleys, 5 miles of sandy beaches, and an extensive network of hiking trails.
Do you see the 3 colors?
The most prominent site within Pfeiffer State Park, that is famous not only in California but throughout the world, is Mugu Falls. The 80-foot waterfall drops from a sheer cliff on an empty beach. At high tide, the water stream empties directly into the ocean. The beach, however, is closed for visitors. Several years ago, a slide caused a permanent closure of the section of the trail that led to the beach. The stunning waterfall can be still observed from the 0.5-mile round-trip Mugu Falls Overlook Trail. Plain and barren most of the year, Antelope Valley, California Poppy State Reserve transforms into vibrant orange seas at the end of winter. After heavy winter rainfalls, the desert ground gives birth to millions of orange California poppies. The flowers start blooming as early as mid-February and may last through late May. And these orange fields are a sight to behold. Nestled about 6 miles northeast of Palm Springs along Tramway Road, Mount San Jacinto State Park offers a much-needed relief from the scorching Southern California sun. Rising more than 8,500 feet above the Colorado Desert, the state park is about 25 degrees cooler than the popular desert city. This part of the park suits hikers of all walks of life. The trails are mostly paved, with an insignificant change in elevation. If you prefer a rougher environment, get off the paved path and dive deeper into the forest. A cozy beach with several natural arches perched right in the ocean, Carrillo State Park is one of the most beautiful beaches in California. Sunbathers and landscape photographers flock to this idyllic location, rain or shine. Hidden from the sun under large beach umbrellas, locals can spend hours on end admiring a soothing game of swirling waves and watching seagulls, hunting and foraging for food. Neighboring bigger, and in some cases even more beautiful lakes in the Mamas Lake region, Mona Lake would be just another charming lake known only to locals, if not for one thing. Mona Lake is a saline soda lake. The lake water that never flows to the ocean periodically evaporates, leaving dissolved salt and other minerals on the surface. These minerals make Mona Lake 2.5 times saltier than the ocean. When the lake water mixes with underwater springs that are rich in calcium, the famous Tufa towers form. In essence, these bizarre rock formations are limestone sediments composed of calcium carbonate.